created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
This is Kyle. Kyle doesn't like junk food. Kyle doesn't do drugs. Kyle likes to work out. Do some good shit.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. We are live here. I'm Dave Palumbo, joined as always by the technician, Chris Aceto. And I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys had a very peaceful day. What did you do for Thanksgiving, Chris?
Well, I want to know what that chalice is there. What is that?
This is where I put the blood of young children, and I drank this, and it rejuvenates me.
I thought it was out of the ashes were kept. It was the urn for MD. The last.
My son likes to go to these gaming stores, and I guess the game. And I didn't know this, or I would have been going to the gaming stores a lot before. The gaming stores sell a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, like accoutrements, I guess, to go along with playing the game. And they had this chalice there, and I'm like, I was a big Dungeons and Dragons.
I know you were.
I'm not embarrassed to admit that, even though some people would be. And I saw this thing, and it was only I think it was like $25. It was on sale or something. And I'm like, I got to get this. This chalice. This is like something Rich Piano would have. He had that big throne, and so even actually Rich's mom, when she saw this, texted me and said Rich would definitely have that on his table next to him if he was still around. So anyway, that's I have my drink in there. I don't really put anything in there, but I just think it looks good. But
it does look good, even though it's replaced in Species Nutrition.
Well, I'm swapping.
Which there's no replacement, Dave. There's no replacement for Species.
Okay. Speaking of Species Nutrition, we had a Thanksgiving Day sale. We had a Black Friday sale, and Cyber Monday sale will be taking place in I think 3 hours. It starts. Yeah. That will be Monday.
What do you expect to be busier, Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
I'll tell you my strategy, what I do. I'm giving away my strategy, my marketing strategy, my big marketing strategy.
Trading secrets from Dave Palumbo.
Every sale, we give a little bit bigger of a discount so that people will feel the need to keep buying more stuff. And because that's what I see a lot of other companies doing that. And I'm like, what? It works. Because if I like a product, like it doesn't, like I'm a nutcase. If I like a certain vitamin, like if I use vitamin D from, say, Life Extension, and they have a sale like today, and then they do another one tomorrow with like a bigger discount, I'll go buy it again. And if they do it a third time, I'll buy it again because I know I'm going to use it. So I'll buy a whole year's supply. It doesn't matter, to me. So I know there's a lot of people out there who like that. So tomorrow's sale, since you guys are tuning in live, I'll give you guys but don't go try to buy it until 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing 35% off the entire website. That's a huge discount for us because we don't have big margins on our product because they're so high end. If you use Cyber 35 will be the code. You'll get 35% off the entire website. If you spend $90 or more, which of course you're going to do, right? Because you got to buy all the good stuff on there. You get a free Amino Evolved.
I use that just to drink,
Blue
just to flavor my water.
My kids do. I'm actually drinking it right now.
It's iced tea, right?
No, we're doing the blue raspberry flavor one.
Okay, well, I only have here. You've only sent me. I get everyone 100%.
You like the iced tea, yeah.
So I don't have to order on Fridays or Mondays.
Chris just calls me up and I send it to him. But
people like, what do you use the Evolve for? I said, I just like the taste of it, and I use it instead of Crystal Light. That's what I use it for.
Look, you know what? The greatest testament to the authenticity of my products is the fact that you actually use them, because you don't use anything, And I got Chris on like the Testalize for his hair.
Where is it? Yeah,
your
it's
amino
everything's
evolved.
in the office because it's a mess. The
Drinking,
fibrilize, testerlize.
fibrilize, so he goes to the bathroom.
Yep, my son uses the
protein.
hydrolyze.
Oh, he does use it. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to use trembolize.
Sorry, I can't tell him I'll go to jail if I make that. So anyway, so we have that sale, and then we do free shipping on orders over $100. So that is going to be for tomorrow only. So you're not going to want to miss that sale because we're giving away free stuff, and we get 35% off the website. I think Guy Sistonino will probably buy 2,000 units of Fiberlife.
Fiberlife, yes, he will.
Anyway, so that's going on. A lot of shopping this weekend has been going on. I don't even think, do people actually go to stores anymore?
No. Dave, I swear to God, what I was doing before this show is I was ordering on Amazon. And every time I order on Amazon, I buy like some little bit of stock of Amazon because it seems like it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, they bought the rights to Friday Night Football, okay, for $100 million for the Jets.
That's nothing. That's his wife's.
$100 million to broadcast the Jets versus Miami Dolphins, and they're saying they're going to make money because what they're going to be doing is everyone can watch it for free, whether you're an Amazon Prime member or not, but they'll be putting up ads, targeted ads, depending on what your preference.
MD is thinking about coming back and placing a lot of ads during the football game.
So and they're charging a lot of money for other companies to advertise on the broadcast.
Yeah.
So think about it. You have to be like pretty nuts to spend $100 million and still believe that you're going to make a profit, and they will.
Well,
they will.
You know what? If you 6% on $100 million is.
They 6%. Estimate they will sell $1 billion or $2 billion worth of merchandise on that during that broadcast.
Listen, I love to give stock advice sometimes.
Yeah.
The other oomph. There's so many oomphs on the supporters for the Amazon stock is. I don't know if you've been. I don't know how it is in Florida, but if you go into a store now, it's like I'm exaggerating, but like the M&Ms and the Oreo cookies are locked up behind counters because there's so much thievery.
In Florida, you get shot. It's not like New York or those. So, you guys up there.
Dave lost.
Sorry. Oh, every time I kick my underneath the table, I screw up the camera. Hold on a second. All right. Back. Yeah, in Florida, they'll shoot you if you steal anything. So you don't want to steal anything in Florida. It's like Texas. Can you hear me, Chris? No? Shit. Chris. No? Oh. What about now, Chris? I can't hear you. Shit. I don't know why you can't hear me. That's weird. It's saying you should be able to hear me. Hello? You can't hear me? You can't hear me? Oh, they can't hear Chris. You guys can hear me though in the chat? Chris, we can't hear you. I thought I was the one that couldn't be heard. We hear Dave. Okay. All right. Chris, you got to turn, I don't know, do something with your camera or something like that. You're muted or something like that. I'll kick you out. You come back in, Chris. I'll kick Chris out. All right. I don't know what happened, but hopefully he'll come back in. All right. I want to bring up a couple things. first of all, let me pull up this picture. We're going to be talking about the Japan Pro. There's Chris. Hold on.
I can hear you, Dave.
All right, now, yeah, you were the one who was muted. I can hear you now. You're better now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was weird because I kicked the camera cord out, and then when I came back, you weren't talking. So I thought maybe I was the one who was messed up.
I thought that I got a telegram that you're going out of business from Blackman.
They pulled the plug on me, literally. Anyway, let's talk about the IFBB Japan Pro. I have to tell you, I don't remember in the last 5 years there being this many post-Olympia shows. I like it a lot. It seems like they should have like a schedule. You know how they used to do the European Grand Prix Tour, and they would kind of make a schedule of all the shows. I know they're on the technical schedule, but I think they should make a bigger deal of grouping all these shows together and call them like the World Tour or something like that, or the World Post-Olympia Tour, and advertise it more. I think they would get better people, a better turnout, don't you think?
Well, I mean, they just had to the IFBB Pro League, the Pro Leagues, to complement the Pro League. It's nice that after the Olympia you had Prague, where I prepped someone for 365 days in 10 minutes, and someone else came in. That's an inside joke with Dave.
Stole them from you.
Yeah, we had Prague, we had Romania, and now we have
Japan. There was another one, wasn't there, that we're missing?
Next week is Taiwan, but I don't know if if the men's open show if it's 212.
Yeah. My point is, though, they have 4 or 5 post-Olympia shows now, and I would like them to like I said, group them and market it like the Post-Olympia World Tour. They should call it, and this way, guys can kind of sign up for the whole tour. And, they can advertise, look, Regan Grimes is going to be on the World Tour, or Roman Fritz is someone who's been on a lot of the shows. And what's his name? Third place, Olympia.
This year?
Samson Dowda is going to be on the tour. They should be advertising the fact that here's the lineup you're going to see on this World Tour. And I think it would get people more excited rather than just have it be this fragmented, like, oh, this show is this week, this show is that week. I think we should make everyone aware of it. It's like everyone's so aware that the Olympia is happening. And then, the competitors know, but I don't think the fans are that up on what the next big show is, and I think people forget that there's one more. It should be really, really pushed home via the IFBB, NPC, whatever website that, hey, here's the World Tour. We're at stop number 1. And, I would make a big deal. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even mind seeing them do like a point system for the tour after the Olympia to see who wins the tour. Maybe give like an extra little bonus, $10,000, whoever wins the most points from the 4 or 5 shows post-Olympia.
It's a good idea.
That level of excitement, don't you think?
Yeah, no, you know what the key words is? The sticky words are world, right? World Tour.
Right.
Because Billy Joel goes on World Tour. Michael Jackson goes on World Tour. And then they did. And then post Olympia, just the words post Olympia, it kind of, it integrates it. It gives some prestige.
Yeah, because the Olympia is in the U.S. It seems like that, even though despite I made a big deal about them moving it, they're never going to move it probably. So if it stays in the U.S., then the rest, the post-Olympia tour is the international post or world tour. And I think they should give a prize away for that. I think it would be great if they can almost like, like car racing, like have like an overall check, because what it would do is it would force, you might have to give them more than 10 grand, but it would force guys, and might not necessarily force them, but it might entice more people to do all the shows.
Yeah.
Like Samson and the top Olympia guys that are just, right there at the top of the heap, Crizzo and all the, top guy, maybe even, I'm surprised Labrada didn't do any of these shows post-Olympia. I think the more he competes, the more relaxed he's going to get on stage, the more comfortable. And I think because his big problem is he gets nervous and he starts getting watery. And, the more you compete, sometimes you lose that nervousness because you become so comfortable with competing. He hasn't competed in that many shows, if you think about it, Hunter. right? I mean, he picked his shows very cautiously. He only did a couple shows as an amateur, turned pro. He waited a long time till his physique was ready. And even as a pro, he hasn't done that many shows. So imagine hitting 5-6 shows in a row. That it desensitizes you. And the reason I say that is because when I was guest posing back in the day, and I was doing 25 guest posings a year for 3 years in a row, I wasn't even nervous going on stage anymore. It was like it felt like I was at home. It felt comfortable after a while. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. I know 100% exactly what you're saying. And it's called experience. You can't. But this age, it's a lot of people don't want to, gain the experience because there's a lot to lose too. You know what I mean? There's a lot to lose because there's only one winner in these shows. And so, you run around and you try to do multiple shows to, quote, gain experience and feel comfortable on stage. And you end up, let's say you lose 3 shows and win 1.
Right.
Bodybuilding fans call you a, 4-time loser, even though you lost 3 times.
But it doesn't matter. Talk to Milos, talk to Chris Cormier.
Oh, that's your point. Yes. Yeah. Of course.
Guys did every show. And you know what? They were so comfortable on stage that their conditioning was very consistent from show to show because of that. And
and you learn stuff too. You know what I mean? You learn stuff about your body.
Yeah. I mean, it's guest posing is not the same thing, but getting on that stage. And I mean, look at like a guy like Roman Fritz has been doing every show. I mean, he's and he's consistently looks really good. He's placing top 5 or 6 in every show, and probably could have been higher. And I think it's just good because it completely takes away that unknown factor where you're, oh, this is such a big show. I have everything gambling on this one show. But if you have like 5 or 6, you kind of like, you know what? It's another show. I'm still going to repeat what I did. I'm going to look my best, but I'm not going to get so wound up over it. And after a while, you just lose that nervousness. And I think I think it would help Labrada maybe next year if he did the whole Post-Olympia tour and put it out there. He's got nothing to lose. He's not like there's no stock in Labrada. I mean, he's a top Olympia guy, and he's got to just get more consistent with his bringing his best to the stage.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, that's my little off the tangent. Let's talk about this show. Theo Laguerre. We've talked about him. He's from France. We talked about what a classic looking physique he's got, and he's an open guy. He's got a small waist. He's got all the pretty bells and whistles. You equated him to like a Bob Paris type of physique. And it seems like when the lineup is not stacked with the top 5 Olympia guys, this is a guy who wins shows,
Yeah, no, I think that he is either going to like
Oh, we got a tip, Chris. We got a $20 tip.
What do we do with the 20? How much? What's the most we can make in a show?
I don't know.
What do you have to do for this?
I'll send you your $4 commission.
It looks like Canadian.
Oh, so it's probably worth like $3 probably?
Yeah, no, it's probably worth.
Thank you, Jamie Legault. Appreciate it.
But what was the question, Dave? What about the guy's physique? You know what? He has really, really good balance and really, really good flow. And the only thing that's keeping him back is size. And the biggest mistake he could make would be listening to what I just said. The only thing holding him back is size. I'm serious, because you know what? This day and age, people want you to gain the 20 pounds, in 1 year.
Right.
And one, he doesn't need to want 20 pounds, but, trying to add the muscle it's going to take to be able to win bigger shows than this, it's going to take time, and it could get easy to get frustrated because, I saw him at the Olympia and I thought he looked good. And
I think this is the best he's ever looked, Chris.
Yeah, this is the best he's ever looked. He got lost at the Olympia because he didn't really have the size, Yeah. You're in a big show, but, it's easy to walk away from the Olympia and listen to every single person who comes up to you. Just need size, just need size, just need size. You just need size slowly in the right places.
Especially when you have a structure like that, so pretty.
Yeah, because you know what? There's a lot of people who had good structures and gained size and goodbye structure.
Isn't it interesting? I like to study the genetics of like different ethnicities and different countries. it seems like the French guys are never huge. Think about all the French guys from France. I think Francis, but was Francis Benfato from France?
Benfato was, yeah, well, I think it was, yeah, he was, I believe so.
I think he was. And then you had what's his name? Your buddy who you trained with. What's his name? The guy who trained for 16 hours a day.
Serge Nubret.
I mean, they're not big, they're not huge over there, but they all have really nice like flow and structure to their body. Yeah. And that seems to be like a stereotype, if you may, of the French bodybuilders. So I'm surprised we haven't seen more really good classic guys come out of France.
Yeah, because of that. Because yeah, I mean, look, this Theo and Benfato and Serge Nubret, gosh, yeah, classic.
Yeah, they definitely are classic-looking physiques for sure. So he's qualified for next year now, which is kind of cool, I guess, to get that out of the way. Let's see. Here is another good shot of him. I like that belt they gave away.
Yeah, very nice belt.
It's a good idea.
And he's doing classic bodybuilding shots.
Yeah, he actually is. You're right. But you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times these promoters can't think about what to give away. I think like a belt. I mean, it looks like the WWE belt or like a belt for like one of the boxing, organizations. I like that idea. Hey, I won the belt for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can put it in your office or something. You
can hang it on the wall. No, it's true. And it's a lot easier to get home than a big trophy. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, they would give these monstrously big.
Yeah, 6-foot trophies. You'd have to take it far.
You couldn't even bring them. If you God forbid you flew in on an airplane, you couldn't even take them home with you.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. What do we got here? Second place. Oh, what did he win the other game? What's his name? He won $16,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not bad for a Post-Olympia show in Japan. That's nice. $16,000. I wonder if that's American money. Must be
Canadian. For some reason they go Canadian money in Japan.
Alfred Chiriac from Chris, you're funny. He won $7,000 for second place. His conditioning was really good too. Yeah. Now you watched the live stream. Chris woke up at what time in the morning did you watch?
3 a.m. But I did not wake up for the Romania Pro for the French Classic. We talked about whiners before. The French have good physiques. And two French Classic people I work with.
They got great structures, but they're pain in the asses. Now, Chris' work was over 3 years. He slept through 7 hours before the show, and the guy got a new coach because he didn't feel Chris gave him enough.
True story. True story. Let's see. Hold on, Dave. I'm going to do the hours. Watch. 3 years is 365 days times 3. That's 1,095 days times 24 hours. Lockstep for 26,280 hours minus 7 hours, where I set my alarm clock for the wrong time to receive pictures 7 hours before prejudging, and I was shit canned. Granted, the guy was peeled out of his mind.
And I'm sure it had nothing to do with you, right? Because you weren't around the 3 hours before the show.
Seven. There's a big difference. Seven. Sorry. 26,000 potential hours.
Yep. All right, let's get back to Chiriac here. What did you think of Chiriac when you saw him in the live?
He's quality, condition. This was his best.
Isn't he a little wide-waisted, Chris?
A little. And I wasn't sure if it was. Here's the thing. When he was 212, he had a small. Look, it goes right back to Theo.
Yeah.
It goes right back to Theo. This guy was a great 212 who wasn't placing high for some reason. He wouldn't place really high. And he went to the Open, and he slowly built his physique up, which is kind of what I was recommended for Theo. But he's gotten bigger, and his waist is a little wider than it used to be. And so I think that's where the analysis comes from of like, is his waist wide? Not really. It's just wider than when he was at a lower body weight.
He gets very ripped, this guy, though. So I think that's what's the most impressive part of it. He gets really peeled.
Very, very, very good.
Now, you helped Yan Ling from China, who finishes third here, wins $4,000. Let me pull up. I think you have a video on your thing. I'll pull up. Hold on.
Yes, one of my friends from Hong Kong, Brian Au, who's the Guy Sistinino of Hong Kong. He's a nut. In a good way. He sent me that video, and you can see he's full blown. Look at this lat spread with the Delson.
Yeah. So why do you think he didn't play second here? Like he's got more bells and whistles than Chiriac did.
I wasn't there, so it's hard to say. But I think that Chiriac probably had like thinner skin, and maybe that
a little harder, maybe.
Harder with like, but not harder. There's different ways to define what harder is, right?
You know what I see? I'll tell you what I see, and you tell me if I'm looking at it the right way. When he's hit shots, he's freaky separated and hard. When he's not hitting shots, he doesn't look as grainy as like Chiriac. But
that'd be.
I like this look because I think he's bigger, and I think he's got a better structure. And when he is hitting the shots, he's got all the lines used in the right places.
Yeah.
Even he's got glutes and hamstrings. Look at that.
Well, they do ask for poses. It's a bodybuilding show.
I'm just surprised that he didn't finish in that second spot.
Yeah, I was too, because when I watched the live stream when he came out, I was just blown over with the roundness and
right.
He has freak factor, which a lot of judges like freak factor.
Right.
And then in the back of my head, Dave, I thought like he's freaky.
Yeah.
Which might put him in third if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would have had him a clear second. I understand why Theo won the show because of his structure, but I would have definitely had you guys.
I love the way Theo's physique is.
Flows really well.
Graduated over the last 3 years.
What's up, Amin? Speaking of Amin, Amin's really good friends with Roger Stone. You got to watch if you haven't seen it. Roger Stone was on the Patrick Bet David podcast.
Oh, I know he was on. I didn't see it though.
They clipped his segment. I mean, he was on the whole time, but they clipped the segment. He was talking about I guess he wrote a book about the fact that LBJ is the one who really orchestrated the death of John F. Kennedy Jr. John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
And he goes through the whole thing about how Lyndon Johnson hated Kennedy and all the factoids. And Roger is great because he's as sharp as a tack, this guy, and he's got what a great way he laid out this whole thing. It really is pretty interesting. And on top of that, I heard that Rob Reiner is coming out with like a 4 or 5 part little series on the assassination, revealing pretty much the same thing, but they go really into depth. I didn't know this, but Rob Reiner, who, if any of you guys remember, he played Meathead on All in the Family.
All in the Family.
Yeah, he was a major director, after that. But he's a super liberal, but he's been obsessed with the Kennedy assassination his whole life since he's like a teenager, and he's been dying to make a documentary about it. And supposedly it's really good. I haven't seen it yet, but so we'll see.
I'm surprised. Not Roger Stone, but what's his face? Stone did make a documentary, another one.
Who?
Gosh, who's the the guy who just made the Putin tapes? He did the interview with Putin, not Roger Stone. The Hollywood producer, Dave. He did.
Oliver Stone. Sorry,
Oliver Stone.
Yeah. Well, he did the original. He did a great JFK thing, but I think they have a lot more information now. That they didn't have before. And Roger said that Trump had asked him when he became president, should I release all the tapes, all the files from Kennedy's side? And he's like, of course, why not? No one's alive. He's like, and he released a lot of it, but he still held back like 20%, and Biden also held back another 20%. And supposedly Trump was saying, they were saying it was a security breach of our protocol. Who the heck knows what? There's obviously if Trump held it back, there must be a very good reason.
Yeah, because someone told him to. Simple as that.
Yeah. Another $10 check. Thank you. Jamie gave us another one. Wow, that's 2 of them.
Wow, I'll have to.
Does Canada get free shipping? No, I can't give you free shipping to Canada because you guys, it's so expensive to ship to Canada. But we, with the 35% discount that's going to happen on Cyber Monday, you guys are going to, I mean, that's a huge discount for Canadians. So that
Dave,
should help.
I live near the Canadian border. That's why I drive it over. And I might be able to meet the new coach who lives in Canada. I spent the 3 years with minus the 7 hours, who got fourth in the Classic Pro Show.
So you want to smuggle feces? You're going to smuggle feces over the Canadian border? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm not going to even touch it. Someone said, I thought they said send Chris to Guantanamo Bay. They were saying send the mean to Guantanamo Bay. That's not nice, guys. All right, let's get back to the show here. So our good friend Roman Fritz finishes. Let me see. I lost the thing. Hold on.
Yeah,
Roman Fritz finishes fourth. I got to say, Roman has been very, very consistent. He is the new Milo Sarshev of the pro division.
Yeah.
And I hear, not from him, but one of his friends told me that he might be getting the other hip now done. I told you he's got a hip replacement.
Well, I mean, he improved so much, he might as well.
I know. It's unbelievable, right?
I mean, he's a much better bodybuilder. He's a
with
totally
the new
different
hip
person with the new hip.
Roman's the only person who gets a joint replacement and actually gets better. Like, they tell you you're never going to be able to work out, you're not going to be able to lift heavy anymore. Roman gets a joint replacement and he actually improves and gets.
Well, that's Dave. It's probably why he's doing all the shows, because he's so excited that
I know.
I can train.
Right.
Which means I can compete.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're probably saying. Actually, someone is saying that that Roman was should have been higher. So, but you know what? Roman's smart because he's getting his name out there. Everyone's talking about him. His consistency is tremendous. He's always right there. Good job. Maybe one of these days he'll come on the TV show. He always tells me that his sponsor doesn't want him coming on any TV shows. They want to do it themselves. I don't know why they wouldn't want him getting.
Who's his sponsor? Who's the sponsor?
I think I don't remember who he's with again. He told me, but I me, I don't listen. Let me see. What does his page say?
Nike. I think it's Nike. Nike and Amazon.
I don't know. What is that? I don't see it on here. All right, let's get back to what we're talking about. Hold on. Now I lost my spot. Here I am. I gotta scan through these pictures again. Fifth place, Victor Boff. I like his physique. I think he's a freak too.
Yeah, he looked good.
Everyone is very conditioned. I got to tell you, I wish the Olympia lineup was this conditioned. These guys really, really, gave 100% to these shows. And you don't usually see that in the post-Olympia shows, but a lot of these guys weren't in the Olympia, Chris. And I think this is kind of their Olympia. Hey, you know what? We're going to see if we can snag a late, qualification. Some of these guys want to just place top 5, and I think a lot of them, got what they wanted, and I think that's smart because these are guys that maybe can't, win New York Pro or place top 5 at New York Pro or the Arnold. So they're going to hit these shows, get the stage experience, get the judges to know who they are, because you know what happens. A lot of times you could have a really good physique, and unless you're Rubiel Mosquera, which we'll talk about in a minute, you're not going to get noticed, because if you're not the biggest guy up there. But when you bring stellar conditioning to the stage, and the judges can acknowledge it because the lineup is not stacked with Olympia guys, that goes a long way, because then that judge will remember this guy next time he competes, and now he's going to be a guy that's going to be up in the top call out, when the lineup is,
Well, I don't know if you knew, Dave. You probably didn't, because you're busy with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But Steve and Tyler went there to judge.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
Both of them.
So Steve Weinberg and Tyler Mannion were there?
Yes.
They probably got the first class treatment in Japan. I can guarantee that if Steve went there. You know what? I got a news for you. If I was a judge, and I know Steve goes all over the world and he's been all over everything, and he's seen more places than all of us. But there are certain countries like that, you'd like to go to, and Japan is, from what Jimmy the Bull went there, and he told me that Japan was awesome when he went there. Just the culture and the whole. They're very peaceful people, and which is ironic because of World War II. But they have a very Zen-like country there. The food is awesome, especially if you like sushi and stuff like that. And I think that Steve probably had a really good time there. I'm sure.
Yeah, no,
and he was treated nice.
Huh?
And I'm sure they were treated with first class treatment over there.
He's got to be half alive, dude, between judging the Olympia, which is enormous task.
Right.
I think he did one of the ones, Romania, or
right.
if not on both. And I don't know if he just went back or just stayed in Europe and went to Japan. But Japan it's a long ways away from
right.
New York.
Yeah, but think about it. Imagine let's say Steve. And I know Steve's judged Prague before. After you go to Prague 2 or 3 times, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want to go anymore. It's a long flight. It's a long weekend. But when was the last time Japan had a pro show? I can't remember. When
not
they had
open. They've had 212 shows, but not open.
Right. So I mean, this is a really nice, ability to go to a country that you've never been to for a while, enjoy the country, even though I know you're judging all day, but there are other, you're not going for one day. You're going for a few days. You kind of get to see some. I'm sure the promoters push them around.
You sit in Dubai, by the way.
Sid, I'm going to get to Sid. Yeah, Sid is doing an awesome job in Dubai. But we're going to get to that in a second. Let me just see if I have one more person that I want to show you. Oh, here was just the top. Here's just the top. The final pose down. Yeah. Look, everyone in that top group here, all in great shape, and I think that says it all right there. That most muscular lineup right there, that was a great show. I'm sure the Japanese crowd probably went nuts when they saw all these guys out there. Because I mean, how many big crazy top level bodybuilders do they get to see in contest shape in Japan? I mean, you might get some guys coming out to the guest pose, but you're not getting a lineup of open men's bodybuilding, and so I think for them that probably was a very big treat. And I think that more people should really think about, if you're going to be in the Olympia, you might as well do this whole tour. Go for it. Have fun. Go to Europe, man. Enjoy yourselves. You know what? Because I got news for you. Once you have kids, you ain't going nowhere, anymore. So it's tough. It's much tougher. If you're a single young guy, and you're competing at the elite level, go to do these shows in Europe, especially after the Olympia when you got nothing left it's nothing like you don't have to even think about anything. I would just go, even if you make a few $1,000, it's the experience. You get to network with new promoters, new people, new countries. You never know Ronnie Coleman went to every country in the world. And that's when he started Ronnie Coleman's Signature Series with Brendan. They knew everyone already. They had traveled together because Brendan was working for BSN and Ronnie was all over the place with BSN. And the two of them traveled together and they made all these connections so that when they eventually started the Ronnie Coleman Signature Series, they were inserted into these foreign countries instantly. I don't even know if they sell anything in the United States. They sell most of it overseas.
That saying, Dave, connections is everything, or whatever it is. It's a cliche, but it is 1,000% true.
Yeah.
Connections.
It's all about networking in the bodybuilding industry. And I can't stress that enough. But anyway, good show. Congratulations to Theo for qualifying for the Olympia and getting the win. All right, I wanted to show you something which I thought was kind of cool. I guess Hadi Chopin, or Chopin, as Milos would say, it was finally returned home. I guess he had been out here in the U.S. still staying with Hani.
Mm-hmm.
And he got like a crazy reception here. Where is that thing? Here it is. Okay. I'd play the music. Who knows?
The music's good. Play it.
I know it's good, but with my luck, it'll be the Iranian, musician who played it will probably take away my monetization of this video. So he's on his way home on the airplane. Now watch when he gets off the plane. He's got his family, his kids there. Really nice. When you see this reception, if Jay Cutler walked off the plane in Las Vegas, he'd have one person waiting there for him, right?
Yeah, his accountant.
Yeah, that's about it. And manager Matt would probably be there too to pick him up. But
same person.
Yeah. Look at how many people are in the airport. They got a band there, Chris. And he didn't even win the Olympia. He was second, but he's a hero there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
No, it's nice that they gave him a nice welcome.
Yeah,
because he's still, he's still Mr. Olympia, and he's still, arguably, I mean, he's still still the best, if not the best, the second best bodybuilder on earth. He
is respected in his country, and I think that's the thing that you can't. It's hard to explain to people because no one cares about bodybuilding here. I mean, if anything, if you tell people you're a bodybuilder, they're probably likely to arrest you. Over there, you're a hero.
Hi, I'm a bodybuilder. Can I come into the gym? No, with Planet Fitness, you can't. But you have weights in there. No, right. Can't do it.
Can you imagine it? He could probably go to any gym he wants, and they would probably pay him to work out.
He probably can go to any restaurant that he wants to go to, right, and get a cut.
I think so. I think he's probably. I mean, I know Rami's like that, right? Isn't Rami like that in Egypt?
But not Kuwait, but probably Egypt.
Yeah. I don't know. It's nice. It makes me feel good and proud to be a bodybuilder when I see that. I only wish that our country would hold bodybuilders up to a higher regard. I don't know why we do. Probably because we have this toxic masculinity thing going on in this country with this whole woke.
Because only this country will say. Only this country, and I mean, the president of the United States. Am I going to get this demonetized?
No, you're fine.
He's part of the little racket that said we can't have steroids in this country.
Yeah, he banned them. Yeah, you're right.
He banned them, and he banned them. Although you can get you can give testosterone to 11-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But, and he would support that. He would support that, but if Dave Palumbo wants to make a comeback and wants to take testosterone, he wouldn't support that.
You know what I love about these Middle Eastern countries? This is tells you how smart they are over us, and this is just over our policies. But regular drugs, they'll put you to death if you get caught with those there, right?
Yeah, Dubai.
But they know that anabolics they're hormones. They're like, what are we going to make these illegal for?
Dave, it's Dave.
They understand the discrepancy.
Stop the tape. It's the most profound, simple thing I think you've said in the last 10 shows. Because you can come to Portland, Maine,
right,
and you cannot be arrested for you can have heroin on you and you will not be arrested.
Right.
If you're homeless. Maybe you could or I could, but if you're homeless. Yeah. But at the same time, no to prima bowling.
Yeah, if you get pulled over with like a little slab of Anavar tabs, like in your little center console there, yeah, they'll arrest you probably.
And we have fentanyl flowing everywhere here, and people dying, but no cypionate. No, Dave, we don't want to have cypionate. But we can't do anything with fentanyl. But if you go to the countries that you just referenced, you have fentanyl. You're going to be put people on a firing squad.
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, you say, can I get some test cypionate? They said, yeah, sure, it's $9 a bottle.
But Chris, that's why they don't have any drug problems over there, because people know that you're going to get put to death. But that's also why they don't give a shit about steroids, because they're like, the only people using steroids are athletes. And we want the athletics, they respect, a macho, muscular man, that's something that they're proud of there. In this country, if you want to be like a real manly man, they want to kick you out. They want you to become transgender. And so it's just weird. Like that, you would think that America, that we would champion like the ideals that make sense. We have the stupidest policies on certain things, and it's amazing. And you know what? Because it's just motivated by money. And a lot of other countries that are just not just motivated by money. They actually have laws that make sense. If you commit a crime in Dubai, they kick you out of the country. They're like, we don't even want to we're not going to put you in jail. We don't want to have to take care of jails. We're just going to kick you out. in this country, they'd rather put you in jail because they make money if they put people in jail.
Yeah.
It's the most insane, political. I don't know.
Call up your friend JFK Jr. Dave.
RFK, yeah, Jr.
RFK Jr. Call JFK. JFK died in a plane crash. Call up RFK Jr. and then you can ask him. You know what? You can ask him what he's on.
Right.
Because he's taking a little bit too much hormone replacement therapy. And since you've had, why don't you get him on, Dave? I've told you.
I'm trying. I'll try.
You have the connection through Roger Stone.
I know. They are friends.
It. That's no degrees of separation.
I got to try. I think I could probably if I could swing it. Even if people didn't watch, I wouldn't care. I would just want to do it just to say I interviewed him.
Dave,
him and I are we have a lot of stuff that we definitely would agree upon. I know.
Here's Dave Palumbo and what RFK Jr. have in common. They're both on HRT. They're both they're the same age chronologically because he's 70, but he looks 50. Fine. He does.
He's a good-looking guy. Yeah, absolutely.
About equal in terms of muscularity, and he's running for president.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Snake lovers.
He's an animal lover. Yeah, the latest polls, have him winning against Trump and Biden. This new Harvard poll that just came out. It's great. I'm telling you, people are figuring out what this guy is all about, and they're finding out that this guy is a. I just hope they don't kill this guy. I really do. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I forget who said. I forget who did say. They said, this day and age, people feel comfortable voting for a president that's not so wonky and policy overloaded, but someone who they feel like they can have a beer with.
Yeah.
Who would most people rather spend an afternoon with at a pool having a beer?
Well, that's why
Biden.
That's why George Bush got elected, right?
Yeah, Biden. They may want to spend the time with Trump. Definitely Trump over Biden for entertainment purposes. But you got RFK Jr. and I think
Yeah, I really do like him. And like I said, if you guys haven't listened to him. Listen to him some interviews. He just did a really cool interview with Whitney Cumming, the comedian, and it was really good. There's been a lot of good interviews he's done there. I try to watch every day. I'm always looking what the next interview is.
Last week, I don't know if you saw it, by the way, the New York Times did a hit job on him.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I figured they probably would have.
Yeah, it was just they want him to be poor.
Yeah.
And they do like a financial analysis on him. And they go through his history of how he got his money, and it's so evil that he's got money. It's so ridiculous.
God forbid he wins a lawsuit against DuPont or Monsanto, right? It makes
because they just don't. They don't want him to run and suck the votes away from Biden.
I'm telling you, I think he can win. I think he can win. I really do. I think he can be the first independent candidate to win. I really like him a lot.
Honest to God. They're both. I know it's. How many push-ups do you think Biden could do? None. Right?
The irony is, I can't wait until they get to the point in the election cycle where they actually have to have debates.
Well, I was gonna.
Trump is pretty tough in his own right,
but Trump can't do a push-up either. He's too fat.
Yeah, but RFK has a lot of facts. How can Biden even debate anyone? He can barely speak. I think he pooped his pants the other day. Did you see that on Thanksgiving? They have this ritual where they pardon a turkey every year. You see this, and they free it, and they say, okay, we're not going to kill this turkey for Thanksgiving. We're going to pardon it. It's like a big thing. That he ran out of there after he pardoned that turkey.
I'm trying to call Biden, see if I could get the pardon for sleeping 7 hours too late with the French.
I think he pooped his pants. He had to get out of there. All right, that's enough. Let's move on here. Talking about pooping pantses and all this crazy stuff. All right, what else do I want to talk about? I don't want to discuss that story. So we got nationals coming up. What is it? 2 weeks now?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
It's late this year. I didn't realize how late.
Very late. we got Weinberger's got to be back quick enough in Tyler from Japan. Think of the travel, right, to get to the Nationals.
Yeah, well, at least that's only in Texas.
No, but think of how hard it's like a 3-day, all-day event.
Yeah.
Atom weights, welterweights, light heavyweights, this weight, super heavies, classic, men's physique.
Right.
And every single person comes up to you after and says this. What do I need to improve? It's like, who are you? No insult, but like, you looked at like 10,000 people.
Yeah, well, you know what, Sandy Williamson, she's smart, because if when the girls want to get a critique from her, what she does is she's like, email me. She gives them the email, and she's like, make sure you put your number and what category you're in. Yeah. And then what she'll do is she'll go and she'll look at the pictures and just refresh her memory. And then she'll write a critique, like what she thinks these people need to work on. And I have a lot of competitors that have reached out there. She does a really good job. And, like you said, there's 1,000 people in these shows, and probably 700 of them are women. And so the fact that she's willing to do that for anyone who wants, to reach out to her, that's pretty impressive. I as a judge, I got to tell you, that takes a lot of work and effort. And that just goes to show that she actually really enjoys her job, because most people wouldn't do that,
Of course.
So I don't know who on the men's side will do. I know if you go to Steve and you talk to him and and maybe just show him your pictures, he would probably do it. But I don't know if he's going to field 100 500 emails and do it. So Steve likes when you come to his office in Bev's gym and you go in there and you hit a couple shots, and then he'll evaluate that way. And he's got a very good eye. You've been there with competitors before.
Great eye.
He's usually bullseye on.
I mock his eye though, because people go like, I'm going to go to Steve. I'm like, why? They go like, I want him to critique me, tell me what I need. He's going to say, come in peeled and hued and big, right? Ultimately,
Steve's good because he gives. A lot of people don't like to hear what he has to say, but he's usually 100% accurate whatever he does say.
Yeah.
So. I always tell people go in and talk to Steve, especially if you live in the New York tri-state area. I said, you're crazy if you don't go in to talk to him. You got this guy right there. I said, go in, ask him. He's very, very open and willing to look at people. Never go up to him at a show and say, why didn't I win? That's the worst thing you can possibly do. Never do that to a judge. They're overwhelmed. They got too much going on. You're going to argue with them. You go up to them after the weekend's over. If you don't live close, you can email them, and you send your pictures or a link to your pictures on the NPC website, and you say, what do you think I need to work on? And that's how you approach it, and let them tell you what you need to work on. And the worst thing, it's like when you get pulled over by a police officer, I always tell everyone, don't argue with the police officer. I put my hands on the steering wheel. I say, no, this is the protocol. They come over, license, insurance. You know what? Yes, sir. No, sir. That's how you talk. Very polite, respectfully. And you know what? A lot of times they'll give you a second chance to let you go, with a warning, assuming your license is clean and everything like that. As soon as you get a combative attitude with them, you're getting tickets. I can guarantee that. And I have a lot of police officer friends, so I they tell me all this stuff. So. Same thing with the judges. You do not want to start attack. Remember when Steve judged that show in Colorado? I don't know if it was the Colorado Pro, and some guy was pissed off that his wife didn't do well, and he punched Steve. You remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Some guy sucker punched Steve because his wife didn't do well, and Steve and Mannion grabbed him, and Mannion said, Steve, calm down. And then when no one was, the people started walking away, and as soon as Mannion let go of him, Steve ran after them. And I don't know what he did. I'm sure he took care of the guy. But I mean, you got to be nuts to do that. You're ending your career. It's just the dumbest thing. You want these judges are there to help you. So not everyone is going to win the show, and you want to find out why you didn't win the show. And so they're going to give you their feedback. Now you might not agree with it, and not all judges have good feedback. Because I've seen some judges give some
true. Not all judges.
I've seen judges say, well, you got to be fuller, when they really meant to say you need to be bigger.
More shape. They got to be shape.
Or be tighter, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So but if you ask a head judge like a Steve or Tyler Mannion or Jim doesn't really judge much anymore.
Bill,
Jim is very
Bill,
good too. He's got a great eye, but Tyler has gotten really, really good. And if you ask these guys, they'll tell you. They'll say, look, this is what you need to work on. And that's what you go back to the drawing board. You talk to your coach about, and that's what you do. And so, I mean, that's the right way to handle the situation. And especially at the higher the level you are, the more important it is. Now, sometimes on the local level, you don't get the best judging panels because it's hard to find enough judges, especially in small cities. In New York, you're going to get the best of the best. In Florida, you're going to get the best of the best. In California, you probably get the best of the best because there's a lot of people there already. But you're in a small town in Tennessee, you might not get the best judging panel. I don't know. Just don't take it personal.
Yeah.
This guy sends us. We got another tip. We've been getting a lot of tips, Chris, today. $4.99. Please don't let Amin take care of your snakes. I didn't know Amin was volunteering to take care of the snakes. But I appreciate Built to Laugh. I appreciate the tip. Thank you. I'll be sure to I'll be sure to take all the money and buy sushi dinner with it. All right. I think that's we pretty much covered everything. Is there anything I left out, Chris?
We probably left a lot out because there's like 900 shows in the last 2 weeks. But
yeah, I noticed on the there was a lot of shows. There was the Japan Pro. There was a show in Kazakhstan. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I didn't even know that they had enough people to have a show there, but they evidently did. They had a classic men's physique show, and
wait,
Darren Sherbayev of Kazakhstan actually won. Imagine
wait,
that.
can you see the pictures?
I don't see pictures. I'm just looking at the scorecards. And so I think we might have our first Kazakhstan athlete on the Olympia stage next year.
Where else were people from?
Kazakhstan, China, India, France. There was one guy from the United States, Russia, Spain. That's it. Oh, there was actually a pro figure event there as well. It was won by Kristina Abadnariuk from Russia. Where else? Let's see what other shows. There was the Muscle Contest Brazil. Those guys have a show every week, it seems like, right?
Yeah, they have like 900 pro cards. And
this was a pro bikini. Priscilla Rodriguez won that. Okay. What else? I think that Ashley Kaltwasser won the bikini in Japan too, she's the most winningest IFBB pro of all time.
Yeah,
more so than
Dexter of bikinis.
Yeah, she's more than everyone. And then there was another show here at the Far Labs Battle Bogota Pro. So there was
they had a classic show down there where Mike Badass won. He looked good.
Mike Summerfield, yeah, from Germany won, yeah. Wow.
And the good thing, I heard he was missing his peak, but his coach phoned in 7 hours before the prejudge.
It's funny. Everyone is from Colombia, Brazil, Paraguay, and then Mike Summerfield came from Germany, which was a smart move, I guess, on his part. Yeah. Looking for
the easy qualification.
Yeah, he's requalified.
He should have gone to Kazakhstan and done that show too.
He could have do it one time, yeah. Oh my God! What else? And is this Sharuk Classic also? Oh no, that was the week before. Okay, all right. Well, so we had quite a bit of shows. It's interesting because we're at the end of the year and we're still getting a ton of shows, which is nice. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up tonight, and I want to thank everyone for joining us, and hopefully you guys had a really great, peaceful Thanksgiving. If you celebrated it, if you're from another country and you didn't, well. It's funny. I have all my athletes, on Thanksgiving, I give a cheat meal. And I think one of my athletes said, we don't celebrate, I'm from another country. We don't celebrate. I said, yeah, I know, but I'm still giving you a cheat meal because I have Thanksgiving. I don't want any updates on Thanksgiving. And I'll talk to you on Friday. I said, so if anyone wants to take advantage of the Species Nutrition Cyber Monday sale, that will start in a little less than 2 hours on the speciesnutrition.com website. Remember, use Cyber 35 for 35% off the entire website. If you spend $90 or more, you will get a free Amino Evolved Blue Raspberry while supplies last. And if you live within the continental United States and you spend $100 or more, you get free shipping. So thank you for the support all weekend long. We got a lot of great sales on the Species Nutrition website. I thank you guys. That helps me and helps me continue to do all these shows. Chris, what's your kids home for the holidays, or are they
No,
back?
my everyone was home, and the 18-year-old just drove back to University of Vermont, where you saw three Palestinian kids were killed.
Yeah.
So
crazy. My friend who works at that Crunch, the Aman Kumar.
Yes. No degrees of separation, Dave.
You want to hear something funny? He got transferred, so now he's moving to Boston. They're opening up a Crunch Fitness in Boston. He's going to be running that whole thing. I guess there's more money there, and so he's out of there. So your son's content, but he said he'll still take care of your son. Make sure.
Yeah, no, my son has the Crunch connection through you, Dave.
I know. No, he said if your son has any problems to call him, he'll make a phone call. So
yeah, if we called him right now, probably called my son on the phone. He'd probably call. You in the dorm? No, I'm in the gym.
Is he obsessed? Is he pretty much consumed?
Too much, dude.
So is he going to compete next year?
He wants to.
What do you think? What are you thinking?
I'm not. I'm not that into bodybuilding, period.
You go a week before all these major shows. You're absolutely into it.
Well, Dave, here's the problem. 3 years ago, I tried to stop. And what happens is I meet I'll give you an example. Let's see. 3 years ago, I said 4 years ago, I'm going to stop. It was 4. And I run into a Ramon. Got it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think this guy could be a good pro. And then I'm thinking, gosh, I think this guy's going to be a, decent pro, to this guy's going to win a pro show, to I think this guy's going to win the Olympia.
So you keep getting sucked back in, is what you're saying.
I keep getting sucked back in. And I'm like, oh. And then I'm down.
Well, now your son's going to suck you back full time.
Think about it, Dave. Think of how long I've been doing it. People oh, I'm helping this guy. It's no.
You've been doing it since you're 19, Chris.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about it. It's
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah. So.
And now your son, once your son starts competing, you'll never be able to stop.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And you'll be even, if you guys have ever seen Chris at a show when he has clients in the show, I thought I'm loud. He is like a maniac screaming from the crowd.
Well,
your son's up there, forget about it. You'll be losing your mind.
Even though I don't go to French bodybuilders' rooms, my son, there's no more. It's an impossibility that there can be more. I'm at the Olympia with people who I help, and I can say it's an impossibility that there cannot be a funner place to be than when I'm with someone who I'm coaching, let's say at the Olympia, and I'm in the room, because it's very not serious at all. I mock people, I clap in front of myself when they, subconsciously. I'm like, my son says, "Why are you clapping?" I said, "I'm clapping." I said, I'll do that. It must mean something. I don't know.
Thank God I stalled a little bit because I forgot. There was one more story I wanted to bring up. Neckzilla.
Yes.
In Dubai. Hold on, I got to pull this up. This video Sid posted. I don't know if you saw it. Sid asked. Let me get this thing going here. Hold on.
Gentlemen, you see Rubiel Mosquera, who turned pro a week ago, finish third at his first pro show. Dennis James, I'll go to you. What do you see in this young up-and-coming bodybuilder?
Future superstar.
Dexter Jackson.
The next Ronnie Coleman. Not now. I mean, Ronnie ain't look like this when his first show. You know what I'm saying? So just give him some time. If he keep his head on straight, train hard, and get some good people in his corner, he can have that wow factor like Ronnie. I'm not saying he can ever be, no one never be Ronnie Coleman, because Ronnie conditioning, he'll never have that. But he's got that wow factor is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Alex Wheeler, what do you think when you see this man right here made the quantum leap, turning pro, and competing against some of the best in the world, finishing Third place, Samson Dowda, world's number 3 in that show. What do you see? Potential. Could have been second, says Dennis. Dennis Ames keeping it real. Chris, you hear that? What do you see out of him? And what do you see as his future prospects as a bodybuilding star?
So, depending on his head, right? Depending on his heart, this can be a future Mr. Olympia. And I believe that he can have a long run of multi-Miss Olympias as long as he keeps his head on straight and stays dedicated to his craft. He could be a multi-Miss Olympia champion. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, brother. Yes. Yeah.
We're good. Get the fans. Let's hit a shot. Here we go. Let's go. You got to do this off. Let's just do something here. Let's go. Let's
I'm
go.
so excited.
Oh, is it happening? This is happening. This is happening.
Look at that.
Here we go again.
Of legends up on that stage.
Rubiel Mosquera's been putting on a show all weekend long, and now in the presence of absolute legends. Chris Cormier, Dennis James, Dexter Jackson, Flex Wheeler in the house. And here we go. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's go.
It sounds like Howard Cosell there with him, right? Kid pumped up the volume at this place 1,000%. Look at all those camera phones.
We sticking it everywhere.
This is like Victor Richards posing at FIBO.
Oh, there we go.
It's great, right?
Yeah. Well, Sid's fantastic.
Yeah. Dexter, by the way, the title of the show, I made a mistake. It was actually Dexter Jackson who said that he could potentially be the next Ronnie Coleman, although he said Ronnie gets way harder than him. Yeah.
Huh?
He said he'll never get Ronnie Coleman's conditioning, though, he said.
No.
Which is probably accurate. Dexter really calls, if you really want to get an accurate assessment of what's going on, ask Dexter Jackson. If Dexter gives you a compliment, it's usually pretty accurate because he doesn't give too many compliments out, you know?
No.
I think this guy Rubiel is going to add a level of excitement to the bodybuilding, world that we didn't expect. You know what I mean? Like every year we keep getting these new freaks coming out of nowhere and we're like,
yeah.
All right, we think we got a grip on who's around now, right? Nick Walker, this one, that one. And then all of a sudden we got another guy in the mix. Last year it was Crizzo. This year it's Rubiel. We have Good Vito, which you were helping, which he never got a chance to compete this year, but he's another freak on the block. There's a lot of great potential coming up in the bodybuilding world. I mean, this is we're kind of entering another little mini golden age. I don't know if I want to go that far as to say that, but I think we are. I see a lot of new talent that we just
I know
you're
gonna get that. You're gonna lock down that word, mini golden age. I have a feeling you're gonna say that.
Mini Renaissance, Chris. Yeah.
Mini Renaissance, mini golden age.
There you go. All right, that's going to take us to the end of another episode. Thank you for joining us on this, I guess, Black Friday weekend, if we can call it that. And as we say every week, with Heavy Muscle Radio,
the truth hurts.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.